Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're playing around with some new things from Anastasia Beverly Hills, Fenty, Huda. There's some favorites, there's some fails, and you're just gonna have to watch to find out which ones are my favorites and which ones you should just avoid reaching for. But you guys, anyways, if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Hit the bell for notifications of new videos. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. But if you want to see how I got this look, what items failed, and which ones might be my new favorites, just keep watching. Okay, starting out, I have the new Nouveau palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I have been waiting for this to arrive the second time because the first time some eyeshadows were shattered. They sent out a new one for it to be replaced. So I finally have my hands on it, and you guys, this one's broken too. So I just decided to press the eyeshadows back in there, and we're just gonna carry on about it because you know what? It's eyeshadows. I'm gonna dip my powder brushes in there anyways. So let's just see what it's all about. If I were gonna do this again, I would just probably see if they had it at Sephora, try and go to my Sephora and just not order it online. Now, looking at this packaging, it is really pretty. I am going to be careful because even though I pressed them back in there, and I did flip them upside down to see if they would stay in there, I'm not completely 100% sure they will. But I do like the packaging. It's got kind of like an interesting canvas fabric feel, and then it has the gold accents. Now, the one thing that they used to do with some of their palettes, they didn't do this time, they usually have the brushes in there, but they didn't this time. Now, this is the color story, and you can see these two right here are the ones that broke. I pressed them, don't come at me, I did my job to try and make the palette suffice. But I like this color story, it's very light, it's subtle, and then you have these pops of shimmers, which of course I'm gonna swatch. And looking at this, I feel like it is something that has a little bit for everyone. Even a dark brown shade in here. I do love, absolutely love this shade Floor, which is just that mauve-y pink that I go for. But these shimmers look so promising. Okay, so this first shade is Wings. This is just that light mint green. It's so pale. It's such a pretty shade. I absolutely love this. Then you have Isle, which is just a light yellowish orange. And you guys, these shades were so buttery smooth. Maybe that's why they broke in my palette, because they're just soft. I'm not sure. Then I have the shade Belle. This is a really pretty, like, grassy green. It looks like it's brown in the pan. And even on my finger, it looks like it's more on the brown side. But it does have, like, an interesting hue of green when swatched. It might just be me. And then the one on my pinky, this one is Lily. This is one of those shades that I was like super bummed because it was shattered. And this one just kind of has like a duo shift, and it looks like it's more pinky to brown. I'm not sure. It's just such a beautiful shade. Let's go ahead and swatch those right here. Look how creamy and buttery smooth those are. And Lily actually looks like it has little like glitter flakes that look like they're blue or green. Interesting. Okay, and then this shade is Hope, and it's kind of like a mossy green. That shade is really pretty. Then you have Peacock, which is a teal. And this one kind of looks like it has a duo shift, but it doesn't necessarily. It just might be the shimmer itself. And then I also swatched Muse. Even though it's not a shimmer, it looked like it was a satin shade, and it is such a beautiful brown. All right, so let's go ahead and swatch those right here. Ooh, look at Peacock, that shade. I don't know if I want to use this mint shade or this shade Lily. Like, oh. Although Peacock is really pretty, I just don't know if I'm going that bold today. Okay, you guys, looking at this palette, I was having the hardest time trying to decide. And thankfully, I know this is not going to be the last time I use this palette, so I'm gonna probably lean towards the pinks. So we're gonna do one of my favorite like color combinations. So the first shade I'm gonna go into is the shade Floor, which is such a beautiful baby pink. I'm going to grab a fluffy crease brush and put that in the crease. There is a lot of fallout with that shade. Okay, now we're gonna go into the shade Metro, which is kind of a corally pink looking at it. So I'm interested to see what it looks like when picked up and placed on the eyelid. All right, so I'm just gonna place that a little bit lower. I'm gonna pat it into place before I blend it out. There is nice blendability. I only dipped in once before I placed it and then blended. And I feel like I got a good shape. I feel like it blended out nicely. There's no skipping. Now I'm gonna go into the shade Muse. And I'm just gonna use my compacted smudger, pick a little bit of it up. Not a lot because it's more of a satin than a matte shade. And I'm not really sure what it's gonna look like when placed in the outer V. So I'm just gonna pat it down and then blend it out. Okay, so it's blending out to nothing. Just a little bit over. I feel like that just took over the entire look and I don't see a lot of the pink anymore. That was not my plan. I still got time, we can fix this. Now I'm gonna go into the shade Lily, which is just that really pretty pale pink shade that looked like it had blue glitter in it. I'm gonna pick this up on my ring finger and place it in the center, but then I'm going to use a brush to kind of finesse this inner corner. So just on a dry brush, it picked up really nicely, so that's a bonus. That was so nice and easy to use. I will say that ABH has some amazing colors. I'm just bummed that the second palette that I get is also shattered. Ooh, it's really pretty. No extra product on this brush. I'm just gonna push forward to kind of finesse that edge. Okay, so I went ahead, did my primer and foundation, which I just did the Huda Beauty Stick Foundation. This is the Faux Filter in Macaroon, because Huda Beauty has a new concealer and I picked it up. My shade is in Meringue 2.1N. Now looking at this, it might be a little too light. And I was trying to color shade on the Sephora website, which, why didn't I just go in the store? Who knows? And then I'm gonna use my Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Setting Powder. So this one I have in Cupcake, so it's not the translucent. I've noticed with my foundations, if I use the translucent, sometimes it will actually take on a white cast. So I've been liking the Cupcake because it's a little more pinky tone, which apparently now that's a trend now too. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and try out this faux filter. I'm nervous because the last concealer that they had, it wasn't my favorite. It was really heavy and thick, but I like all the other faux filter products that they've put out. So I'm really hoping I like this one too. Okay, so it has a really big doe foot applicator. I'm gonna start on one side because I know the last concealer that I had from Huda, it just dried down so quickly that I couldn't move it the next time. So I'm just gonna, I don't know how much I need, so we'll see. We're gonna try this out. It's so light, you guys. Sometimes I just don't have time to go to the store and shade match and all that. I also think that was way too much concealer. I'll try and warm this up with some other products, but wow, is that light. It blended out nicely. The under eye doesn't look crazy. I'm gonna use less on this side. Okay, you guys, a little goes a long way. This was way too much. This is a lot better. And actually, it's light enough that with the powder, it might be okay, but I also don't want to chance it that if I use a different powder one day, it doesn't work. It doesn't look like it's fallen into my creases during the time that I was like sitting and talking, which I don't mind. I appreciate that. So far, I like my under eyes. We still have the rest of this video to figure it out. Okay, so far so good with that concealer. I really like how it looks with the powder and everything on it. I mean, it's a little bit creasy, but we'll see. I will try it out again with other foundation and primer and see what I think of it. Now, to finish off the under eye, I'm thinking I kind of want to play with the purple. All right, so this one's for my friend Casey because she loves purple. And this shade right here is one of her favorites in this palette. So I'm gonna go into Wisteria. And just on my little tiny Huda Beauty eye smudge brush, pick that up. I'm gonna place it underneath. It is really light, so it's not showing up right away. I might have to layer it a little bit. It's subtle, but it's there. Now with this, because I'm not really seeing the pinky shades anymore, I am gonna go back into the shade Metro on the fluffy crease brush, and then I'll work my way out with Floor to just kind of bring the color back in as well as blend out the edges. So right here. And then into Floor, which is the lightest shade, just on that like upper outer edge. And then I'm gonna go back into Muse, put it in the outer V and slightly underneath just to merge it with Wisteria. Just slightly. So I did already go ahead and do my contour. I just used my 𝐬𝐃𝐄𝐄 because I have a brand new bronzer from Fenty Beauty. Look at this packaging. It is absolutely stunning. This is the Toasted Swirl Bronze Shimmer Powder in Chocolate Swiller. That's what it looks like. Look how fun that is. Nope, doesn't smell like chocolate. Hey, I wanted to see, try it out. I do like Too Faced because theirs do smell like chocolate. And then I'm hungry by the time I'm done doing my makeup. I'm not gonna dip straight in. I just kind of want to see what it looks like. Ooh, that's interesting. Ooh, this may be the most beautiful bronzer I have, or this could go very badly. So I'm just gonna dip in ever so slightly. Just doesn't look like I picked anything up, but brushes can be deceiving. Okay, I see a little bit of the shimmer. I went in a little bit more. I don't know if this is like my cup of tea. I feel like this is like a bronzer topper. Okay, I grabbed my Charlotte Tilbury airbrush bronzer in medium. I'm gonna put this down first and then put that on top of it and see, like, maybe it's meant to be a topper because it's very metallic. Okay, now back into this. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. It's very like metallic. And I don't know how I feel about this in the summer when I get really oily. I mean, I have bronzers that are like this, but I didn't have a lot of color payoff. I just had shimmer. I'm gonna think on this. I'm not sure. These aren't new from Anastasia Beverly Hills. They just have some new shades, and I picked up the Stick Blush in Bubblegum, which, look at that. It actually almost matches my shirt. And of course, it's a cream blush, which I forgot about. Ooh, and it has a brush on the other end of it. So let's see. You get quite a bit of product in here. Now, do I go straight in? Do I put it on the back of my hand? All right, so just tapping it on, really not getting anything. Well, that got something. So let's see. I'm gonna use my blush brush. Oh, that pulled my makeup, you guys. Ah, no. All right, so I put it on the back of my hand. I'm gonna see if I can just kind of dab, dab, dab and maybe save this. But right now, it pulled my foundation. No. You guys, I'm not seeing it. It already dried down, so I don't know. We're gonna try something different on this side. So I'm just going to use my brush. There's very little color, but it's not disturbing my makeup like it did on this side. I'm starting to see color. It's just building. It's just taking some time. Because I'm going out to dinner tonight, I'm gonna see if I can fix this real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, so I didn't fix it completely. I was able to go over it with my foundation brush, a little bit of powder, and then put the blush back on it. And then I realized my hair actually covers this side of my face when I wear it down, so I may not have had to do that at all anyways. All right, the other thing that I picked up is the Pink Diamond Stick Highlighter. We're not gonna put this straight on my face. That's just not how this is gonna work today. Apparently that's just not how this product is meant to be. And of course, you know, me putting all my powder products on first probably wasn't beneficial. So I'm gonna pick this up on my pencil brush and put this in the inner corner and see how that works. Ooh, that's pretty. I don't normally put like a cream product in my inner corner. And then handy dandy highlighter brush, pick some up and just do the brow bone if it wants to pick up. So the other thing that I like to do with cream products is my ring finger. I'll place it with my finger and then use a brush to kind of blend it out, which that worked much better. All right, so I wonder if that's what I need to do for the cheek. Maybe I'll try that with the blush next time. I am just a metallic mess right now. So far the highlighter, like on this side, it's not as intense as all that. I'm going to see if I can put the blush a little bit more forward with my finger, only because like usually my blush is up here. So just tap, tap, tap. You guys, I think this is one of those disaster videos that I do once in a while. All right, I need to do brows, eyeliner, mascara, figure out my lips. Maybe I can get this all to come together. I'll be back. Okay, you guys, I'm back and this is the final look. I like how my eyes turned out. I absolutely love this eye look. The purple is a little bit light, but I don't hate it. The cheeks though, you guys, like I'm looking at it and all I can see is the metallic. And when I looked at this cream blush from Anastasia Beverly Hills, this shade right here reminded me of the NARS Orgasm blush, which I absolutely love. And I was like, ooh, in a cream formula, let me try this out. It's not my favorite. I want to try it out again. I'm nervous to try it out because even on, what's that, this side where I kind of figured out how it's supposed to be, it's still not my favorite. So I don't know. This might just get put in the drawer and decluttered later. I don't know. I haven't decided. I'll revisit it. I'll revisit it on a day that I'm not planning on going anywhere. The highlighter, I think it's pretty. it's blending with the blush, so it's definitely not helping the skin situation. As far as the concealer is concerned, I did notice that it started to sink into my lines. I don't know if it's a primer. I don't know if it's the Huda Beauty foundation. I didn't take the foundation that high, so it might just be the primer that I used. We'll see. Sometimes those things affect it. So I'll try it once more with a different primer. If it's still the same thing, maybe it's just the concealer and it's not meant to be. Now you guys, this bronzer from Fenty. I swear, I feel like this entire video, except for one thing, so far has been a fail. I'll try it out again. It's not my favorite. It's more like a topper than a like actual bronzer, just maybe because I have a tan now. If I was more pale, maybe it might be my shade. But I also didn't want to go too dark because there were only 2 shades and it not be my right shade. So it's pretty with a bronzer underneath it and then putting it on top of it, but by itself, I just don't think it's dark enough. So that's my opinion, that's my thoughts. That's just how I feel. And then you guys, of course, the Anastasia Beverly Hills Nouveau palette. I am bummed that it came in and these 2 shades were broken, but I think that I was able to pack them back in there and I'm good to go. But I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of use out of this palette. I think that there's some great colors in here. Maybe next time I'll just do these 2 shades and then this one and get more of a springy summer type vibe, which I was doing a lot this spring. I want to play around with the greens. There's some beautiful shades in there, and I think this palette is gonna actually be one that I reach for a lot. Don't take my word for that. I'll see how I feel in a couple days. But so far, so good with this palette, and I think that's the only one that I'm like, yes, that's my favorite. Now you guys, that's it for this video. There were a lot more fails than there were favorites, and that's just how it is sometimes. But you guys, if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Hit the bell for notifications, new videos. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And until my next video, you guys, bye. I'll see you in the next one.